Now, you know what would piss me off? If I go past here and it didn't tape any of it. Hi guys, this is another segment with the Move Something Inc. Today we are doing our first vendor highlight of the Move Something Conference 2017, and I'm here with the magnificent Nicole Hardy, who is the owner of Brown Babycakes. So we're going to talk with her, get some questions, some information about the business. So say hi to the people, Nick.
Hello everybody.
All right, so my first question is, tell everybody what Brown Babycakes is.
Well, Brown Babycakes is more than just a company. I think it's more of a movement just around celebrating our kids of all flavors. Brown Babycakes, obviously, because so often you don't see brown kids in a favorable light, and part of the movement is to showcase kids that are happy, that are positive, that are loved. So whether you buy a product or come to a Brown Babycakes event, that's all part of what our mission is to support, encourage, and highlight kids of all flavors.
Okay. So, what was the motivation for starting the business? And tell the people what type of products you have.
So we have t-shirts, we have hair puffs and accessories, we do lots of custom gifts. And then in the notebooks were really
those were a big hit.
Notebooks were a big hit. So anything really to encourage and to showcase those positive brown images and images of all flavors. And the reason we got started is my two goddaughters, they're ballerinas. They wanted a t-shirt with a ballerina that looked like them. And after searching high and low, it did not exist.
No, they don't.
So I created it, and then it just blossomed from there.
Okay. Now, with the name Brown Babycakes, you just told us you have puffs, you have t-shirts, you have notebooks, tons of other things. You don't sell cakes, like edible cakes.
We don't sell cakes or snacks.
Do you get that question a lot?
I do, but the Brown Babycakes name comes from when you see that delicious, cute baby, and you're like, oh, look at those baby cakes.
Right.
And that is where we get the name. But people do say, where can I get a cake? And we can't get a cake here.
But you do make a cake. Are the onesies like a cake?
So some of our custom gifts have come in a cake box.
Okay.
Or some of our smaller custom gifts come with a cupcake box with a clear top so that you can see the customization and you can see the images. So that if you give the gift, we say they're showstopper shower gifts, so that when you put it on the gift table, people know it's a Brown Babycake item.
And what is that? What is that showstopper? Tell them. Because I want people to go to the site. I don't know if you want them to go to the site, but I want them to get some stuff.
They can go to thebrownbabycakes.com and also follow us on our social networks on Twitter, Instagram, and of course on Facebook. A lot of our items come from just a personal message on Facebook where we customize, so you might not even see it on the website, but we try to accommodate people for what it is that they need. And we will do customized t-shirts that say, happy girls rule the world, my naps are only in the afternoon, happy boys rule the world, I like chilling in my crib, these kind of things. And then of course the name of the child is on those items, and those are definitely showstopper at a shower, because people can see inside the box, they see the brown images, and then they see the child's name, so it's fun.
Okay, cool. When did you know that Brown Babycakes was a business? Like this was a true business, because it is a business. I think you probably slowed it down, but it's definitely a business. So when did you know, when did the light go off that this was a true business?
Well, there have been a couple of moments where I said, wow, this is a true business. We had our first order from England, and I was like shipping that at the post office, and the postmaster was like, hey, this package pictures going, and I'm like, I know, and that was really
Right.
exciting. The notebooks for sure, in addition to our just stranger purchases where people are seeing us and ordering, we had a couple of larger organizations order 100+ notebooks, so you really feel like you're a business. And then when people say, "Oh, is that Brown Babycakes?" and
Right.
you're like, "Oh my God!" So
Right.
they already know the brand.
And I think we were somewhere. This was at Solia School. That's my daughter. And you've made puffs for her that match her uniform, that have her name on them, and she was wearing different puffs every single day. And one of them said, "Oh my God, that's Brown Babycakes." And I said, "Yes." And she was like, "Can I take a picture so I can send it to Nicole?" I was like, "I've already done it. Don't even worry about it." So I was like, "I know Nicole. I took a picture." She said, "Oh, okay."
Yes.
So it's people who are advocating out there for you, for the business.
And I think it's more than just a product movement. It's a happiness movement. Anytime you can see, they see the puffs. I'm sure she was smiling and happy because that any kid wearing Brown Babycakes is loved. Like the care has been taken with getting them ready.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so what are some of the challenges that you've had with the business? Maybe the obstacles, maybe the growth of the business. What are some challenges?
Well, I'm a learning professional, so I have a full-time day job, which I love very much, and really balancing the needs of my family, making sure I am really great at work, and then in my spare time, doing the things I need to do for Brown Babycakes. So that could be a challenge. And then just support. Support comes in a lot of different ways and places, but sometimes it can be a disappointment when the support doesn't come from who you may expect.
Yes.
So, but you still get lots of support, and I'm always grateful for that.
Okay, good. This is my last question,
Okay.
and of course this is a bigger one too. I guess I would probably say, with your experience with the Move Something conference, Nicole has been a vendor from the very beginning.
Yes.
She's going to be a vendor for our 3rd year. So what has your experiences been with the conference for anybody that's maybe thinking about vending, compared to maybe experiences with other events? What would you recommend or say about that experience?
Well, I think that it's so organized. The organization is always the first on the top of my list around why I love it so much from a vendor perspective. From a participant perspective, the thing I love is that you see a group of motivated, multi-generational women who are happy, positive, really just dedicating a whole full day to their own growth, to sisterhood, to friendship, and to their physical health.
Right.
And when I see, a 12-year-old with their auntie, with their grandmother, that is something you don't see too often. And I really appreciate that, and I appreciate that people start to look forward to, we're going to do this again next year. We're going to bring our friends with us next year. We're going to spend the night and really make an event of it. And we need to do that more, and it's great to have a platform where people can do it.
Right. Excellent. All right, so you will see Nicole with Brown Babycakes at the conference. You'll see her in another aspect this year, and I'm excited about that, and we'll talk about that a little later. But I would say definitely at the conference, look for her booth. You can't miss it. Because not only is it branded very well, but the crowd is always around there as well. So I'm happy about that. But before we go, I have some questions, just 5 questions. Just kind of get to know you a little bit. Look, she's like, nervous. Get to know you a little bit better.
Oh, this is a great question. In fact, I use this question often with my walk and talk, and when I'm mentoring.
Okay,
my
so
girls.
we have to stop and tell us what walk and talk is.
So the walk and talk is the Happy Girls event for Brown Babycakes, where we bring girls together so that you can walk and get some steps in, but also talk and have a conversation with the girls in our community around what they want to do next, why they're so fabulous, just those positive conversations. And I would tell my younger self that it's going to be better than you can imagine.
Right.
For sure.
I like that.
Oh my goodness, this is so hard.
Just one. I know because you read a
Just
lot too.
one.
Just one.
Okay, if I had to say my number one book ever, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Oh
by
my
Judy
God! Like
Blume.
how old is that? I think we all read that book at that age.
Yes, and I give that book as a gift often, and that book really, for a girl with a single mom in McKee City, it just burst open what another girl's life might be like.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Okay.
Freedom is having options.
Yeah, it's important.
And so I don't think it's about how much do you have, but a person who has options, to me, is more free than a person who has a lot of things.
Right, or some limitations. That's interesting because I was watching an interview with Jill Scott and Brandy. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but I don't know if it was on Facebook, one of the social media sites. And she was talking about going into different phases, like your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. And she was telling Brandy, she said, your 40s, and I cannot recall this exactly, but basically she said something about the 20s, and then she said something about the 30s in relation to working, and I'm thinking about options, and she said your 40s is you're working when you want to work. You've set up in your 20s and your 30s, like your 20s are like you grinding. You're doing everything you need to do. She said something about your 30s, and then she said your 40s are when you get to a point you work when you want to work. And how that translated for me, because during the 20s and my 30s, getting a lot into training, that it has given me so many options in my 40s, that it does break down to, wow, I really am in a position where I kind of get to work when it works for me.
Yes, and to do the work you love, and where you're really adding value. I love work. I know that sounds kind of crazy. I really respect work and workers. So my Brown Babycakes is around my passion project, but this idea that you have options, that you can say no, and that you can say yes to things that you didn't even imagine in your 20s that you would be able to do. So I view that as freedom. There's a lot of women who are being told what to do, and I'm really glad I'm not one of them.
Right, or stuck, or feel like that, like or fearful, just fear taking a hold and not allowing you to expand to be the woman that you could be in any aspect, not really wanting to take the jump. And I like that Brown Babycakes is a jump.
It's a total jump, and it has brought me nothing but happiness.
Yes, definitely happiness. All right.
Let me think about this from a business perspective. There's so many women. I mean, this is going to sound like so, like, well, you say cliche or like brown nosy, but I always say I was born with a brown nose, so it's okay. But my boss at work, I've worked with my boss at 3 different companies, and I would say she inspires me because she's got some good balance with her home and with her work. She burst into spaces where we sometimes were like, oh, I don't know if I would do that or not, but she kind of goes. But more than anything else, she encourages people to live their passion. And I think sometimes when you have like a passion project and a 9 to 5, people get nervous about that. And she's been one of the biggest supporters of Brown Babycakes. So that really is great to me. It lets you kind of see how you can support and mentor other people.
And that's good too, because it's said a lot of people don't leave the job because, okay, I hate this job and it sucks and it's the worst thing on this earth. They leave because
of the person.
Or person or management or boss. They leave because of the boss. So
Right.
for you to say that is definitely accolades to her.
Yeah, for sure.
You know. Last question.
Well, I think women should compliment each other from the earliest of ages. So I know this is like the smallest little thing, but we, from the time we're getting our hair done, is, oh, she has good hair, or oh, you know, such and such's mama's no good. You know, like we start talking badly about people, and we don't even notice that we're doing it in our circles. And sometimes when you give somebody a compliment, we've been trained to say, oh, we can't even accept a compliment because it's so unusual for us. And I'm all about it. I tell strangers they look great. I tell people I appreciate them. And more than anything else, I tell people I see you. I see what you're doing. And if you can do that from young girls, which is part of, you know, my passion and my passion project, if you can do that, that is a way of living that you just take with you. It's hard to teach an adult person to suddenly start doing that.
It is, and it's funny because we can be anywhere. I don't care where we are, and so Leah will say to an adult, like, I like your shoes, something simple, or I like, you know, because she's all into like lips, I like your lipstick, or I like your nails, and they're like so surprised, they're like, oh, thank you. You know?
So I want a day to come where that's not a surprise,
Right.
but that's our normal vibe. You know, so
especially
I
us.
see you.
I see you.
And you look
Exactly.
fantastic.
Thank you. See, I accept that one. All right, that was awesome. Thank you. All right, guys, make sure and keep an eye out on the channel for our vendor highlights. Nicole is our first one. And make sure and check her out at the Move Something Conference 2017. Get inspired. What more can inspire you to possibly thinking about moving into your passion. Thanks again, Nick.
Thank you for having me.